Hello everyone, welcome back or welcome to my YouTube channel. Hi, hello, my name is Morgan and welcome to Morgan's Library. So for today's video, I am doing my January wrap up, going over everything that I read this month. And honestly, considering that I just started school, getting back into doing like physical school and everything, I feel like I've read quite a lot. So you know what, let's not waste any time because I already feel like this is gonna be a pretty long video. Let's go ahead and get started with the video. Alright, so I'm not going to do these books in any particular order. I just literally have them piled up next to me. I'm just going to pull them from the top. So the first two that I have are the first two volumes of Fairy Tale. These were not on my TBR at all, but I always like to have a short book in between like big huge novels that I read. That way I feel like I've accomplished something even if I haven't. So I did read the first two. Now, I'm not sure if I said this in a video yet or not, but I have seen the anime of this. I've seen the whole entire thing multiple times. So I already basically know everything that happens. But I know there's like some Lucy and Natsu like cute moments and like stuff that we don't get in the show in this, which is why I wanted to read it so bad. Now I'll tell you what the first one was about, but I'm not going to tell you about the second one. The first one is basically about these two main characters on the cover. We have Natsu and Lucy and then their cat Happy. It's a magical world in Fiore. They are all like some sort of wizard. Like Natsu's a fire wizard, Lucy is a celestial wizard. And we go along on all of their adventures that they have with their guild. And it just takes us on the adventures that they've all been on. It tells us everything that they're going through and stuff like that. But this is also by Hiro Mishima. And honestly, I totally recommend picking up this book because I love Fairy Tale so much. I'm pretty sure I rated both of these volumes 5 out of 5. I loved reading this. It was so nostalgic for me. Loved every moment of it. Alright, second one is the Tea Dragon Society. I do own the other two, but I have not read them yet. I just read the first one because I still wanted to get through the rest of my TBR. But this, wow, Katie O'Neill, bravo with this one. I loved it. It's just so colorful, so flipping cute. I love this so much. I rated it a 5 out of 5 stars. It's basically about these two girls right here, but this one, what's her name? I know, this is so bad, but I cannot remember her name for the life of me. If y'all can remember her name, please put it down there. Greta. So, this one, her name is Greta. And basically, her family are all blacksmiths, so she's also learning to be a blacksmith. But then she comes across this guy who has a tea dragon. She thinks they're very cute, wants to learn how to take care of them. So now, she's kind of doing like best of both worlds. And then she meets this girl right here who she does not have any memory. She can't remember anything, but Greta is sort of helping her to learn how to memorize stuff, and that if she ever gets lost, she can always count on her for help and stuff like that. It's just a very cute, short little graphic novel, and I really loved it. 10 out of 10, I recommend. Alright, next book is the Illumination Files by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. Okay, now, I believe I gave this a 4 out of 5, or it might have been a 5 out of 5. I cannot quite remember, but when I tell you that this put me through so much, it really did. So Illuminate Files this one is basically about two, dare I say, star-crossed lovers that their planet basically gets destroyed, so they're stowed away on these two different ships. One is, the guy is on the ship filled with people who do military stuff, everything like that, and then she's on basically the ship filled with like all the nerds, doctors, stuff like that. But they're trying to find a way to get back to each other while running away from the people that blew up their planet, and also with a crazy AI. So it's like it's sci-fi fantasy, and I'm usually not into sci-fi, but for some reason I was like, this sounds interesting. And it's also very, very weirdly formatted, because it's formatted in like a ways like if you were reading like a police file. Wow, caught that. A police file or anything like that. But I believe I gave this a 4 out of 5. But actually, it's really, really good, and I do plan on picking up I believe there's 2 more books, and I will be picking up both of them. Alright. Next one is A Deadly Affair by Agatha Christie. Now, I did listen to this on audiobook, and I believe I gave this a 3 out of 5 stars. I did get this sent to me by Morrow, the publishers. Now, reading this book makes me want to go and pick up all of Agatha Christie's work, because her stories are just like, I know they're not meant to be funny, but like I'm reading them and I'm like, wow. I love that. Like, even like just the title. Like, the title of one of them is Death by Drowning. And I'm like, okay, how is that going to be some sort of romance? Because this is a collection of like her like love stories, but also mysteries. And I was like reading this, well, not reading it, I was listening to it on audio, and honestly, this makes me, I believe I rated it more of a 3.5 out of 5 instead of just a 3. But I really did enjoy this. Thank you guys so much for sending this to me. I do want to pick up all of her works because I loved it that much. Alright, next book that I read was Waiting for Spring Volume 5. Now this one, I love this series so very much. It's just very cute. But this one, I always thought Volume 1 would be my favorite because that's when it was set on our two main characters, Toa and Mitsuki. Their endgame, I love them. But then after all of that, we started getting more side characters. Most of the books were more about the side characters other than them. But this one focused back to just them again, which I heavily enjoyed because I love those two very much. They're just so cute. This is so wholesome. I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. If you're ever just looking for something that's very quick and easy to read, but you know is going to be very fun, cute, really raise your spirits to read, I definitely 100% recommend this manga to you. And I believe there are 13 in total, and I'm already up to number 5. I'm wanting to just buy the collection of it, but I can't find it anywhere. At this point, I'm like, I might as well just buy 6 through 13 at this point. But I feel like it would be much cheaper for me just to buy, because I believe they're like $10-11 for each one of these. So I'm like, I might as well just buy the whole box set, but I can't find a box set anywhere. So if you were able to find a box set, please let me know because I will be purchasing that ASAP. Alright, next up is going to be The Deal by Elle Kennedy. Now, I don't know why I didn't know this, but I did not know this book was going to be so smutty. I was reading this in front of my roommate, and then I got to one of the smutty scenes. I had to close it so very quickly, and I was like, yeah, I love you guys, but I cannot read this book in front of you. I'm so sorry. I will be reading this in the comfort of my own room. Love y'all, but peace out. And I finished this book in one night. I stayed up until 4:30 in the morning finishing this book. 5 out of 5 stars. I definitely recommend this. This is such a good romance. Garrett is my favorite. I love him. And I know that all the rest of them in the off-campus series kind of focuses on his other friends, like the other people on the hockey team. But I love Garrett so very much. Now, basically in this book, we are following a girl named Hannah. She has a very troubled past, and she has this big, huge crush on a football player. But she has no way of how to get his attention until Garrett, the star of the hockey team, gives her an idea. Like, if you help tutor me, then I will help make your crush jealous, so that way he will notice you. Well, it's a typical love story. Doesn't really end that way. But I really love this book, and I 100% recommend it to anyone who loves romance. Like, this got me into such a big, huge reading romance mood that I'm like, dang, I wish I had more romance on my TBR for this month because, wow, loved this. And then the last book that I read this month, I finally finished 6 of Crows. Let me just say, my girl Inej deserves so much more than what she got in this book. Kaz, pick it up. But I really enjoyed this. I did not think I was going to enjoy this because I usually do not like books about heists. But the way that Leigh Bardugo wrote this, it kind of like, I don't know if you would even really call this a fantasy world because there's not really much fantasy in it. Okay, I guess there is because the Grisha, they have magical power. But like, it just makes me feel like this could happen in real life. Like, I know it never will. Like, I know I will never meet my Kaz Brecker walking down the street, but oh wow. And I'm so excited. My friend Kinsey keeps sending me all these screenshots of the show that's coming out for 6 of Crows, and I'm like, wow, the people they have playing these characters, they really popped off. They knew what they were doing. But I gave this book, I believe I gave this one a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoy it. I definitely recommend it. If you're not into fantasy, like high fantasy, I recommend this book to anyone because it has like slight fantasy in it, but it's not an overpowered fantasy. So I think that's probably why I enjoyed it. Even though I love high fantasy and I always will, I really did enjoy this book. Now, that is everything for my January wrap up. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like, comment down below a flower emoji if you made it to the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, anything like that. And also if you would like to purchase anything from me from my Amazon wishlist, it's also down below as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!